Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Code drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
Were there times where you nearly did fess up, where the lie just got too heavy?
Yeah, I would say a couple times, actually. There was one time, just so you know, I know you probably don't know this, I purposefully left my phone on my desk here and filmed a video with WWE champions on the screen. And I wanted to see how the internet was going to react to it. Now, it didn't have my account, but it showed the game. And I did it on purpose. And it basically was kind of what I thought. Like, my detractors went crazy for it, saying, this is evidence definitively he's playing the game. And then some of my fans were like, well, it's evidence he's playing it, but it's not really that big of a deal. And then some people were like, yeah, maybe it is a big deal. So I kind of tried testing the waters a few times over the years with things like that. But I knew eventually it was going to come to a head. I knew people were going to do enough research. They were going to find out stuff about accounts or whatever and how the game works. And I always had planned that eventually I was going to have to fess up to it. It was, but yeah, I never really planned it out definitively until I heard this big documentary was coming out. And I know that this guy, June the King, does his research. He was going to have evidence that this was my account. I was like, this is the time. Let's just do it. Let's get the hell out of the way. Stop with this stupid lie and just move on.
It's interesting because there's been so many other documentaries and streams, and as somebody, I've consumed you a lot through your channel, but I've also consumed you a lot through detractor streams as well. Hand on heart and in all honesty, and the detail about your WWE Champions game and your spending on the Champions game, I feel has been out there for a while, which is why I'm intrigued to know, with so many other people who have covered it and shared details about it, what is it about the new documentary that's come out, which is very good? What is it about this new documentary that was the straw that broke the camel's back and made you go, all right, now is the time to come clean?
I don't necessarily think it was the documentary. I think there's something else that has happened that has actually put me into a positive light recently. What happened was, a group of creators over on Kick, they're called Kino Casino, okay? And they run a show a couple times a week, and it's like internet drama stuff, right? Well, we were both interested in reacting to a documentary from this guy who made the one about me, and we kind of did a crossover event where we did a co-react to that. And what happened was, their audience saw me in a positive light for the first time. Most people don't get to see that. They only get exposure to me through my detractors' videos. So to actually see me on a show or do a co-op event that was done positively, to see me have back and forth with someone that was not someone interrogating me about my private life and kind of shitting on me, but instead having fun, watching some clips, reacting to something, they loved it. And because of that, those guys outright told me, they said, Phil, we don't give a shit if you play mobile games or not. You're a cool guy and we like hanging out with you. That's all that should matter. And I was like, wow, it kind of gave me the confidence again that I haven't had in a very long time, to feel like I should be myself and I should be honest and I should try to do different things. And I think that kind of gave me the motivation, knowing that this documentary was going to be coming out. It was going to have a lot of eyes on it. This should be the time that I officially fess up. So it was like a combination of someone giving me a fair shake, a fair shot, actually wanting to do stuff with me and not just be a jerk to me. And then also knowing that this big documentary that everyone was going to be watching was coming out. It was kind of like a twofold thing that came to fruition at the same time.
Obviously, the way, as you said, which is what a lot of supporters have said, the way you spend your money is your business. But with so much detail out there about the spending, how accurate is some of the things that we've heard in terms of how much you spend? And again, this isn't me going, it's bad, that's good. It's just out of interest. How accurate is some of the reporting based on how much that you have spent on this game?
All I'm going to say is I'm not going to give specifics. Yes, I've spent thousands of dollars on this game. And I think everyone knows that, right? Everyone knows that. But the thing is with my detractors, all right, they will always take a little piece of fact and spin it into some ridiculous over-the-top situation. So to give you some examples here, in this game, when there's an event going on, okay, you can score points different ways. You can score points by spending money. You can score points by playing it. You could score points by having certain characters and using them in the events. When my detractors say shit like, oh, darksydephil spent $3,000 this weekend, right? It's complete bullshit. It's never been true. They're looking at a stat that would be like, if all I did was do loot pulls, this is what it would cost to get this ranking in the event. They don't factor in any of the real way the game works, right? So that's the thing. Have I spent? Yes, I have. Am I embarrassed? Yeah, I am. Especially those early years, I was spending a lot on it. Today, I don't spend nearly as much anymore on it. I'm spending more on my streams of the game on this new account that I created for streaming than I'm spending on my private account. But yeah, they always lie to basically make it the most big over dramatic situation possible. And it can easily be disproved. Anyone who knows the game can look at it and say, yeah, he could easily have had this character and he got all these bonus points and he did this. There's no way that you can prove that he spent thousands of dollars this weekend. It's ludicrous what people are saying, but they don't care. You know, that these detractors, they're only making content for their audience that wants to consume drama. So they know if they say the over the top exaggeration, the people will just believe it and they make money doing it. So yeah, you know, I fessed up. I have spent money. I do spend money, but you know, it's nothing like what these people have reported. They're out of their minds with some of the ridiculous things they're saying. They don't even factually make sense how I could be having that many funds to be spending.
You did, yeah. You did do a stream where you did sort of own up to a lot of the lies that you'd made about the game, and I said I've watched you for a long time, and I've watched those streams where people have said people have asked you about a username or a name in the game, and you've gaslit an entire room. What do you say to people who have supported for so long, knowing that in that moment, as you were carrying the weight of this lie, you were gaslighting a lot of people about what you were doing with WWE champions because you were ashamed to show it?
Yeah, all I can say, I've already said it in my own content, but you know, for the purposes of this show, all I can say to the audience is, you know, I'm sorry. It was a huge mistake. I absolutely shouldn't have done it. It's something that is a shortcoming of mine. You know, with these people on my ass all the time about everything I do, you think at first this is just something that's not a big deal, and then it blows up into something awful that I never intended. Once I told the one lie, it's like, how do you get to out of the next one? It steamrolls. And this is the first time in my life where it's been like that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like in life, you tell a few little white lies here or there. My cat, I told everyone I didn't have a pet for a few months, and then I revealed him on stream. That's a little white lie. That's not a big deal. But this was one that just kept going on and on and on. And all I can say is, you know, I'm sorry for it. I'm going to do better. I think I've shown now in the last month, couple of months since I've been fessing up to all of this that I'm trying to do better. You know, I'm human. I'm fallible. I may still make mistakes in the future, but I swear I'm going to commit to try to be a better person. And sadly, if there are people who have heard this coming out that, oh, wait, Phil lied about a mobile game for all these years and he gaslit his audience, I'm sorry. And if you have to move on, you know, I will miss you because I love my audience. You know, I have a very core audience of people who come by every day. We love hanging out. It's a more personable audience than, say, the chat's going like this and I can't read it. No, I'm talking with people all day. We're having conversations and everything. And I know that there's some people that are hurt, that I've been lying to them for years, and it sucks. It's just like, how do you do it after you've done it for so long? How do you get out of it? You don't get out of it. You fess up and you move on. And if people can't forgive you for it, you live up to that. Right. And that's the best I think I can do in this situation.
I'm keen to move on to other things, you'll be pleased to know. But I did want to mention one more thing about it, and then I want to talk about the recent turnaround in events for yourself and things coming forward and all that good stuff. And we still got a third match to do, Phil, for goodness sake. Yes, honestly, I mean, you haven't shut up about WWE champions, honestly. People have thrown around the word addiction when it comes to you and WWE champions. Were you addicted?
I was addicted, actually worse, to the previous mobile games I was playing, Supercard and Dokkan Battle. I was actually spending a ton on those games at one point. It becomes this dopamine hit, right? When you want to pull and you want to see if you get the new character or you can participate in the new event, and it just go, go, go. With this game, it actually hasn't been as bad. I mean, yeah, I spent a lot at first, but basically after I went through this big financial problem that I had, I couldn't do it as much anymore. And I did scale back. And that's kind of where the lie just kept getting worse. I should have just fessed up at that point. But no, you're right. It's an addiction. It's a feeling of like you just want to keep going. I think they call it the sunken cost fallacy, where you spend so much on something that you feel like it's better to just keep going and spending more than just quitting, because you think you're eventually going to get there. You're going to get something out of it, right? That's why with my streams of this game that I'm doing now, I am trying to 100% express that to my audience. This is dangerous. This is not something that you should be doing and spending tons of money on. You know, there was a night the other night. Now, my audience was amazing. I raised a ton of money on this stream. So they said, will you do some polls? Of course. I just raised a ton of money. That's kind of goes hand in hand. Let me do some for you guys. And we did one mega poll. And I got like one good thing. And they're like, well, will you do another one? I said, guys, I don't think it's a good idea. I'll tell you right now, because I know where the slippery slope goes. You can't stop, right? You just keep going. And they said, just do one more. I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do one more, and that is it. And I'm going to show you guys why you don't do this. I had raised hundreds of dollars on the stream. So, you know, I'm paying for it with the stream. I do the second poll. We get nothing, right? It's all duplicates. I'm like, now you guys see, you have it in definitive video form. Don't do this to yourself. Don't go down the road that I've gone down. Don't get addicted to this shit, because you will just keep going and going. And next thing you know, you're screwed. You know, where'd your money go? Where'd your credit go? Because you're stupid. Because you wrapped it all up because you're a dummy, you know? So I'm hoping that through me expressing this stuff now in the current day with my content, I can take bad experiences that I had in the past and turn them into positive ones and teaching moments for others. It's
interesting because it's striking a balance, because I hear what you're saying about it's almost like what you're saying is, hey, look, you know, don't sink all your money into this. It's a ludicrous game, but at the same time, the thumbnails will be, get in a 6-star wrestler on the first go. So you can see where there may be, by bringing this thing that was very much private, that you very much confessed to and you very much opened up about, which is commendable, bringing it to the fore, you can see where there might be the risk of of the message not quite getting the message that you want to send, not quite landing.
Fair enough. And, you know, and that's part of the YouTube game. You got to do the catchy thumbnail. You got to do the catchy title. I would hope that the people who are watching it are watching more than 5 seconds of it. But then again, you don't know, because that's the YouTube game too. You get people who see the clickbait. They click, oh, okay, then they're out of there, right? But yeah, no, that is a good message. I'm glad that you brought that up. I'm going to be sure moving forward as I'm playing this game that I'm emphasizing this with the audience more, that they know that this is not the road to go down with your life, with your money. This is something that I now have learned from and I've improved on, and other people should learn from my mistakes. Fair enough. I don't know.
I just don't know whether it's like over here we've got bookmakers or bookies or gambling houses in the UK where they're all sponsored. They all have messages on there by anti-gambling charities and such that will say, like, when whenever there is a bookies in the UK, there'll be somewhere within the bookies that will say, when the fun stops, stop. And it's kind of a joint message to, like, come in and have some fun, but also, you know, be gamble aware. That's the company I needed, gamble aware. My advice, and it's your world, it's your stream. You've been doing it for 16 years, and I'm just here having a chat with you in my spare room. So whatever, but I'm nobody. But what I'd say is, for all that my opinion's worth, if you are looking to go that way, and I think it's a really commendable way to go that way, have some links, some contacts for people who are maybe struggling, because you will find that there'll be people who also go through a similar thing to you, where there is a casual or a very aggressive addiction to a game like this, and it allows them the opportunity of somewhere where they can go to get support.
It's good advice. That's great advice. I will look into that for sure.
Thank you.
I got the drip going. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.